Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli and this is Vigorelli Institute. Now, as I promised, last video was it? Yes, last video, I tell you guys some ghost stories, some actual true stuff that has happened to me, and yes, I swear upon the Styx, this is fact. Yeah, honor Halloween and whatnot. There we are. So, let's dive in. So, very first one happened to me when I was 8 years old. Okay. The house I grew up in was bought by my dad and his first wife. Okay. Her name was Lisa. And he loved her a lot. They got married just a few months into the relationship, and she got pregnant. So one day my dad went to work and came home for lunch, and she wasn't feeling well. Said, well, let me help you out. So she goes into the bathroom and does her business in there, comes out, and she falls down. Dad runs over to her and she's dead. Okay, so what had happened was she had, I guess you call it pneumonia, technically speaking. It was fluid of the lungs. It wasn't infectious, it was kind of a failure, okay? Lungs filled with fluid, she basically drowned. Very, very sad in that house, okay? Well, my dad had decided that he wasn't going to be with anybody anymore. He was completely done, so he was just going to be a bachelor for the rest of his life. Then some friends of his introduced him to my mom, and they hit it off, got married, had me in '83. Okay. Yes, I am a millennial. I know. So, all throughout growing up, I hated going down a dark hall. See, my mom did not like turning lights on because, costs money. Okay. And she wanted me to get used to, being in the dark, because money. Okay. So I'm this little kid, and I'm going down the hall. And whenever I would do that, I would see this lady. Okay, she looked like my mom. But something wasn't right. Okay, she had a big belly. Her eyes were all weird looking. She kind of looked crazy. Okay, and she kept reaching out for me. She called me her little boy. And I would scream and run past her. Okay, and I'd go down and get my jammies because I hated changing my bedroom because she would always come in. And go get my jammies, run into the front room, and have my mom and dad help me put them on. Well, this drove my sister crazy. My sister's 10 years older than me. Okay, so she's in middle school at this point, early high school. Okay, she's going like, my little brother needs to grow up. He needs to be, a man. And my parents were going like, okay, what's going on down there, kid? I described her. And my dad looks at me like, are you sure? I said, yes. Okay, she's scary. He says, all right. So he calls his priest over and has the hallway in the house blessed. And it stops for about 2 months. Okay. Well, my birthday rolls around, and I'm 8. I turn 8. And I'm going down to my bedroom, and there she is again. Okay, I'm like, holy crap. Okay, it didn't work. I scream, and I run back. I'm like, she's there, she's there, she's there. Okay, so my mom says, all right. My mom back then was Mormon. I, at this time, was Mormon too. Okay. And call the bishop over. Okay, bishop comes in, blesses the house. Another 2 months pass. Okay. Nothing. Okay, start of spring. And I'm going down to my bedroom and I see her again. Okay. So my mom says, all right, we're going to sort this out. Dad says the exact same thing. Realize using clergy is not going to be effective here because they, regardless of the religion, they only have one tool, and it's a frickin' hammer. And this is something that needs to be removed, not pounded in. Okay. So we sit down. I go in there, and I activate her. My dad is waiting around the corner, and so is my mom. They come in, and Lisa, I remember Lisa looking up at him. She's very confused. Okay. My dad said, honey, you're dead. Okay. He does, what I've told you to do in the other ones. And she realizes what has happened. So she disappears. Okay, she never came back. I want to say about 3-4 months later. Okay, my mom, Saturday or Sunday morning, I'm watching cartoons. And my mom says, come on, let's go outside. So she grabs a cup of coffee, we go outside, and we sit down on the patio. And she says, I had a dream last night. I said, okay. It was Lisa. We were sitting in our high school. So my mom actually went to high school with her. In the cafeteria, we were dressed in clothes that we would have worn back in the early 70s. And there was a plate of fries between us, and we were sharing them. We were just talking about stuff. Then she said, I want to say I'm really sorry. I didn't understand what was going on. I was sick. I'm sorry for what I did to you and your boy. Will you accept it? And my mom looked at her, she said, yeah, I forgive you. It's wonderful. Okay. I gotta go, I got class, so I'll see you later. And woke up. Okay. Never seen her up there since. It was, everything was fine upstairs. Basement, on the other hand, different issue. Okay. So, we'll get to that in a little bit. There's another story I want to tell you. Okay. Well, 2 stories I want to tell you. The first one happened to me when I was 14. Okay. Hanging out at my friend's place, and he says, hey, you know that shed that's in my backyard? Yeah. You want to know what it actually is? So what? It's a clubhouse. And I think, we could move our operation out there. The only thing we got to do is run electricity to it. We can play our video games out there, and that'll be a good time. And we don't have to sit in this ruddy basement, because his mom was a frickin' pack rat. So was he. He had bags and boxes full of nerd stuff, specifically Ghostbuster stuff. The guy was what's called a ghost head. When you're a teenager, it's cute. And then, when you get up to, higher levels of high school, it's like, okay, interesting. College age, into your 20s, you're just like, okay, now it's sad. He still does it. The guy's my age, he's 38. I'm just going like, dude, stop, please. Anyway. Says, come on, let's go out there. So I head out there with him, and he unlocks the door. And there's something going on in there, okay? It's middle of the day, and he's taping it. He's got one of them old late 90s camcorders, like this frickin' big, okay? You have to hold it on your shoulder, okay? Not as big as the ones in the 80s, mind you, but, 90s still, we were using VHS, okay? So he's recording this, and he fixates on this spot. It's this table, all right? And I look over at it, and I can see something there. I can't make it out because the light's too strong in the building. But there was something, okay? So I get out of there, and As we're leaving, I get this stinging sensation in the back of my neck. And I'm like, ow, damn it. Okay, so we go into the house, pull out the cassette, slide it into the VCR, and we watch it. Okay, we get to the fixated part, and there's this thing. It's this mass. Okay, we slow down the tape, and I can make it out. Okay, it's a snake. That's non-corporeal, and the thing's totally weird looking. Okay, the head and top of the head and bottom of the head are inverted, but the eyes are still up top. It's got this lower jaw thing. It's got an underbite. Fangs are sticking up like this, like tusks. And I'm like, dude, you got something in there. You're like, oh, man, I can see it. Yeah. Okay. So I say, all right, I'll be right back. Okay. So I jump on my bike, head home, grab a couple of things, and it's because by about this point I had been studying how to get rid of stuff like this. Okay. Not exactly a master yet, kind of a novice, but you know, I can manage. Okay, bit of a Padawan, if you will. So we get out there and I clean the place. Okay, it's gone. And I've still got this pain in the back of my neck. Okay. And I can almost feel something squirming around in me. Okay. So, a couple hours pass, we're watching a movie, and I look over at my friend, and he says my eyes are looking weird. I'm going, what are you talking about? He says, your eyes are weird, dude. So, so we turn off the movie, and we sit down, I drop into meditation, and there's 3 people in the room with us. Okay. We're the only two there. Okay, something else is there. I drop into meditation, I confront this thing, it's the snake. And it lashes out at me now. I've got a pretty strong mind, so I block it. And we get into a big battle, okay? Mostly because I don't exactly know how to defeat this thing. I only know very basic stuff. So I have to basically corral it and then cleanse it. Obviously I did win, but it took me, oh God, an hour at least to defeat this thing. Longest battle I've ever been in. Okay. Nasty little creature. So, fast forward to early college. Okay. Well, mid-college, I should say. Probably my sophomore, junior year, somewhere in there. And I'm waiting. I'm bussing tables at the Chili's, just down the street from where I live. And it is... Goodness, when was it? I'd say... Oh, it was Thanksgiving. Okay, it's Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, I remember. Now, one of the things that happens in Utah is Thanksgiving's a dead day, so nothing's open because, you know, everybody's doing the feast. So, that weekend, though, huge spike. Okay, it's weird. It's twice as bad if it rains, but it didn't rain that weekend. So I'm in college and I'm bussing tables at night, and it's Saturday. Okay. Now usually on a Saturday I'll get home 11:30, 12 o'clock. Okay. I smell like a restaurant because duh, and my cats absolutely love me. So I have my dinner and I turn on Adult Swim and I'm watching some anime. Okay. I fall asleep. I believe it was Inuyasha. Okay, is what I was watching. That'll date me. And I fall asleep. Okay. TV turns off on its own. It's about 2 a.m. I'm sacked out on the couch and I'm sleeping like so. And I get a little voice in my ear that says, "Hey, Richard, there's somebody here to see you." So I open my eyes and I just instinctively look up to the corner of the room, over this way, that's the northwest directions. I'm sleeping on the south side of the room. Okay, there's a woman there. She's hovering about 2 some odd feet above the floor, dressed in a long white nightgown. She's got curly brown hair, kind of a light brown. I guess you could say a milk chocolate. Yeah. Anyway, top of it to about here is covered in blood. Okay, and she's bloody skull for a face. Okay, I know, graphic. And by about this point, I'm pretty used to stuff like this. You know, I see it all the time. It's Tuesday, basically. For me, not that big of a deal. And she looks down at me. If she could express herself, I would say the expression would have been confused. And she says, "Can you help me?" I said, "Yeah, you're dead. You need to cross over." Okay. Now, I had been in contact with the person that whispered in my ear, and I said, "He'll help you out the rest of the way." Okay. So she says, "Okay," and disappears. So I get up the next morning and get myself a cup of coffee and come down. I come down from my rooms. I gotten up and gotten to a proper bed. And my dad's in the front room watching TV, morning news. And there is a notice of a murder. No, it wasn't during Thanksgiving. It was during September. I remember now. Okay. And Thanksgiving was later. Anyway, not a big deal. So my dad's watching this, and I say, "Hey, what's going on?" He said, "Oh, some lady disappeared there. It's a missing persons hunt." And picture flashes across the screen, got her name on it. I'm not going to tell you the name because I want to protect it. Okay. So I'm looking at it. It's the woman. And my dad says, "So what do you think happened to her?" I said, "She's dead." I said, "How do you know that?" "She was here last night. She was right there in the corner. I helped her cross over." She said, "Huh. Interesting." Okay, so we watched the thing. And a couple weeks later, comes out that her husband confesses that they had had some problems in their relationship, and he had gone crazy. Okay, so he had taken a boomstick, that's what I can call it, and boom, hence the face. Okay, rolled her up in a carpet that he had bought and stashed her in a dumpster. That's where they found her, exactly as I had seen. Okay, so case closed. He went to go live in a cage for a few decades, and there we are. Well, now this is where the Thanksgiving thing came in. Okay, so it's Thanksgiving weekend. I get home at like 1 a.m. Okay, I'm frickin' wiped. Have dinner, lay down, watch cartoons, and I fall asleep. At 2 a.m., TV is off on its own, and again I get a little voice in my head, whisper in my ear, says, "Richard, there's somebody here to see you." So I open my eyes, and again I look to the northwest, and the woman is back. Okay, same white dress, except, well, it's a nightgown. Same thing, except no more blood. Same hair, it's like so, but she's back to normal. Okay. She looks down at me, and she smiles. She says, "Thank you," and disappeared. Okay. Very first time that ever happened. Second time was Charlie, which I already told you about, and those are the only 2 times anybody has ever thanked me for crossing them over. Kind of hits you right here, as far as gratitude goes. It's a sense of elation that probably only a proud parent would understand. Okay, so there's that one. Okay. Oh goodness. What others have happened? Yes. So, let's fast forward to my senior year of grad school. Okay, it is 2012, 2013, Christmas. And I come up to visit my parents, okay, and recently snowed, okay. I had flown in, like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, it's fine. So they picked me up, and we get back to the house. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's dark outside, as it is in the middle of winter. Okay. And they had told me that summer, the sewer pipe in the basement had exploded, basically shot stuff all over in the bathroom and the laundry room. So my mom's having to do laundry at the local laundromat weekly, which is not cheap. Okay. But home insurance covered it. Had guys come in, had to tear up the floor, replace the whole line, gutted everything. So they decided, you know what? Let's remodel the bathroom since, we're here, we have the opportunity to do it. So my dad had gutted the whole room. Had to replace the dividing wall between the bathroom and the laundry room. Whole kit had to be redone. So they showed me how far they'd gotten. It had been tiled. Shower had been rebuilt, or at least framed in, if I remember correctly. It hadn't been tiled. No fixtures were in there yet. It was just a hole. Okay, I'd be like, wow, cool, good job, guys. So go up, have dinner, and I sleep in my old room, my old bed. It's weird, and the cats are in there with me. They're cuddling because they're cold, and all of a sudden I hear a boom down in the basement. Okay, now the way the house was structured, my bedroom is right over and slightly adjacent to where the bathroom is down there. Okay, so I can hear everything through the vent. So I hear this boom. And somebody talking. Okay. I'm like, shit, we have a break in. So I grab my old aluminum T-ball bat and I head downstairs. Okay. Nice and quiet. Okay, as I move, I'm like a cat when I move. I am silent. And I get down there. Okay, now I lived in a split level. Okay, split level is when you walk in the front door, one stairwell goes up and another stairwell goes down. Okay, so I go down, okay, and around the corner. Now, as you get down onto the lower landing, it hits a hallway, and the hallway goes like this. Okay, so the bathroom is off to the right. And I turn the corner, and right in there is what we called the game room. So we had our pool table in there, weight set, all the exercise stuff, and a TV. Okay, and just off of that, as you round it, like hairpin it, and that's the bathroom. Okay, so I'm down there now. It's 15 degrees outside. Okay, at this point, and it's 65 in the basement. Okay, not a broken window. It should be freezing down there at this point, and it isn't. Okay, not a break-in. So baseball bat's useless. Duke. Set that down to the side, and I can hear a woman's voice. Okay, well, at least a female voice. So I head in there. So I turn the corner, and it's filled with green light. Okay, creepy-ass green light. There's a woman standing there. She's got kind of putrid blue-green skin. She's wearing kind of a disgusting lime green, emerald green dress. It's not pretty at all. It's kind of raggedy. She's got long black hair, kind of a greenish black. And it's kind of, looks like she's been drowned. Okay, and she's got big glowing green eyes, and this Cheshire Cat grin. If you don't know what Cheshire Cat is, Google it. You have all of humanity's knowledge literally in the device in your hand that you're probably using to watch this. Hit pause, Google it, okay? Also, if you want to kind of know what that is, Jennifer's body when she's crouching, like that. Yeah, like that. Okay. And she looks at She says, "Why, hello there." So, you? Who the are you? Okay. She said, "Oh, you don't remember me? You grew up with me, sweetie. I'm the one you were afraid of when you were a little boy." I was like, "Oh my God, it's you." Okay. So I was terrified to go into the basement when I was a kid. Hated it. Okay. And she was why. I instinctively knew it. I instinctively knew she was there. I just didn't know what to do with her because I wasn't strong enough yet. Okay. So I have a little bit of a back and forth with her, and I said, "Get out of my house. You are not welcome here." She said, "Your house? This is my house. I was here long before you were." I said, "Well, then we're going to have a fight." She said, "Oh yeah? What are you going to do about it, fairy boy?" Like, all right, it's on. It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I am not in the mood. I'm exhausted from traveling. So by about this point, I had studied a lot. Okay, I had learned how to do a lot of stuff. So I go, boom, knock her out. Okay? And I actually watched her crumble, like, out on the floor. I'm like, she ain't going anywhere. I don't have the energy or the time for this. I'll take care of it tomorrow. So I go upstairs. I grab my baseball bat, go back to bed. Cats are up there. They'll look at me like, "What the hell's going on?" Don't worry about it, kids. Okay? Go to sleep. And get up the next morning, have coffee. My dad's there. Okay, he says, "Hey, good morning. Hi. What was all that commotion downstairs last night?" I said, "Oh, you heard that?" He said, "Yeah. What's going on?" I said, "Oh, there's something in the basement." He said, "What?" "Yeah." And I described her to him. He's like, "I thought I got rid of her." Said, "Well, obviously you didn't. What did you do?" I said, "Oh, I went down there, threw some holy water," said Rosie. I'm like, "Dad, seriously? Obviously some kind of water spirit. Demon. Okay? That's not going to do anything. It's going to knock it out for a minute, and then it's going to come right back and probably be upset." So I said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I'll take care of it, okay? But I am going to need your help because I'm kind of tired, okay?" So that day was actually kind of sunny. So I go out, I charge up in the sunlight, we have dinner, have a roast, a lovely roast. And about 6, 7 o'clock hits, it's going to be dark enough outside that we can get this done. Okay? So I tell my dad, "I want you to grab your novella and your rosary beads, and I want you to follow me down." Okay? I will be the point of the spear. You're going to be support. I want you to say the full novella into me. It's going to charge me up. Okay? Meanwhile, I took all of my stuff that I know how to do, and I turn it on, and that's going to be my weaponry. Okay? So I head down there. And I'm using she because I don't really have any other way of describing it. Okay, she's up. She looks angry. She says, "You're going to pay." I said, "No, you're going to pay. We're done. Get out of my house." Okay. I draw. We start the fight, and I remove arms, legs, nose, eyes, mouth. Okay. All in pieces there. Okay. And I send her back to the underworld where she belongs. Okay. Portal actually opened up. I could see it. Purple light. And multiple points, because parts, and she just thunk right through. Closed them all. And problem solved. My dad looks up and says, "It's gone." I said, "Yeah, I know it's gone. Come on, let's go to bed." Okay, so we head up, and problem solved. So I went back to California, finished school, came back in 15, and actually lived in that basement for a while because I had no money whatsoever. Hadn't had a problem since. Okay, we have since sold that house. How I got here to Tennessee, had nothing happen here in this house. Okay, however, I've had a couple of other things happen, and I've told you all of those stories but one. It's the most recent one. So, had a patient, and she had recently said goodbye to her dad. Okay, her dad had passed on in the hospital, and she was having a tough time with mourning. So she had come in so that I could help her out with that. Okay, so woman the next Marine. Of course, technically you're never an ex-Marine. Marine's always a Marine, but details. Anyway, she comes in, she tells me when my daddy passed, and she had no idea why she was telling me this. She had seen this, what she called a tar thing, had a face on it, a creepy smile. It was hiding under the hospital bed, and when he passed, it came out, looked at her, smiled, and flew off. Okay, I thought, well, that's interesting. And she said, I haven't seen it since, but still. Okay. So, I'm working on her, We're making some headway. And her sister comes to town. Okay, now this lady calls me Needle Guy. Okay, I absolutely adore that name. It's cool as hell. Okay. So, her sister comes to town, and her sister's kind of distraught. Like, what's going on? Well, she was staying at her mom's place, which is on this lake. Okay. And she said, when I sleep in the basement, there's this thing. It's like a living shadow. Okay, she describes it. And her sister looks over and says, that's exactly what was in the hospital room when Daddy died. So I gather a ton of information. It takes me about an hour to sort it all out because I have to cross 2 dialects in order to get things right. Okay? And I realize the tar thing isn't after the Marine that I was treating. It's been after her sister because her sister was also in the room. Okay? I said, okay. So I know what to do here. Now, this is not something I would normally do. This is kind of out of necessity. My relationship with my patients ends at the treatment door, okay? Nothing goes beyond that, okay? We do not hang out. We do not have lunch. There's no going to football games or anything like that, so don't ask, okay? This was a special case, okay? This is a one-time deal. Never happen again, okay? So I say, well, I'm pretty much your only shot here, okay? They had called their priest. The priest came in, blessed the house, didn't do anything, okay? I know, very sad. I don't think his level of faith was strong enough. And getting an exorcist in is good luck, okay? So I drive down there, and I find the house. We go in, and I ask, okay, how does this thing manifest? She says, whenever I get into bed, it shows up. I said, okay, you need to get in bed and take a nap. Don't worry, I'll be there the whole time. Okay. So her sister, Marine, stands at the door. And I'm in the room. Okay. And I'm prepped. I'm ready for battle. And I see the shadow kind of drift into the room. It's kind of a guy, but missing legs. Kind of has arms, but they're at his side, and he just kind of looks at me. Cocks his head to the side, like, what are you? You're an anomaly. Okay. And said, you need to leave. You're not welcome here. I said, yeah, I am. No, you're not. Get out. Make me. Okay. So I do my thing. Weaken him, open the portal, send him out. Okay. Here's the interesting bit. Okay. That room was pitch black. Okay. I've got good night vision. I could barely see anything. Okay. After I had closed the portal, I would guess the gamma level in the room jumped by about 10 times. That's how dark this thing was. And Marine, who was out in the hallway just outside the door, keeping this thing from escaping, because it was scared to death of her. I agree. I absolutely adore her, though. She said, I saw the whole thing. It was like between us, and then it moved. said, yeah, I know. You're not scared? No, this is Tuesday for me. Relax. It actually was a Tuesday. Anyway. To the best of my knowledge, they haven't reported anything new coming up. But I'm still kind of waiting for, hey, it came back or something new has happened. But we'll see. I haven't spoken to her in 2 weeks. It was about 3 weeks ago is when this happened. And from the recording of this video, by the way. And it looks like everything's basically fine, so hooray. Yeah. Now, here's why I do this, okay? Now, I'm not going to go into the specifications of my religion, but my religion is such that all evil must be opposed, okay? I don't care what evil that is. I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on. I don't care what your individual spirituality is. I don't care what the color of your skin is or anything like that. If you are bad, I'm not going to help you. I am going to stand against you in any way that I possibly can, okay, without, inciting conflict. Okay, I will defend myself, okay, and I will defend the people you attack, okay? That's why I do what I do, okay? If you are a ghost and I can cross you over, I will do it. If you are a malignant spirit, I will stand against you, okay? If you have a problem with this and you need some help, feel free to contact me. I can give you some pointers on what to do, okay? Now, this is where we get into a thing called affinity, okay? Or compatibility, I should say, okay? You see, every single religion out there says it's the true religion. This is the best way to do the thing, okay? Well, if that's the case, then why are the others in existence? Well, one religion says, well, because they're all lies and the devil. Yet the people practicing them are still good people. Idiot. Anyway. That leads me to believe that heaven is a lot better than most people think it is, okay? And there's a lot of different things out there. So, if a given religion resonates with you well and causes you to be an objectively better person, causes you to be objectively more functional in society, please do that, okay? If it causes you to, be a jerk and attack people and hurt people and do bad things, probably time to get a new one. I'm just saying, okay? And this is also where we get into why a given haunting will manifest for one person but not another, or manifest for one person and significantly worse for another. It is because some aspect in each individual's personality, psych profile, genetics even, might be that much more compatible with whatever the thing is, okay? That ghost could be reaching out like, hey, this happened to me, don't let it happen to you so you can avoid my fate. Or, hey, this thing happened to me, you're kind of sort of like me, maybe you can help me out because I'm at a loss, okay? So, if you get a ghost, okay, and this is a ghost, okay, they confront you, let them know you're dead. Cross over, okay? Again, you need to use it in such a way that the ghost understands, okay? Not you, okay? Assume that, yes, your system of belief is fine. They might not agree, okay? You have to acquiesce to them. It doesn't mean you have dishonored yourself or anything like that. Get over it, okay? And if you can do that, one, you will actually spread that true light you claim to serve and love, okay? If you don't, well, things get complicated, okay? If things do get complicated, please contact a trained professional such as myself or anyone like me in any fashion. And hopefully they can get this problem taken care of for you, okay? Please, 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 please don't use a Ouija board. No. Stop it. No. No. They're evil. End of sentence. End of discussion. Ouija boards are evil. No using. Okay? Bad things happen to people that use those. Okay? Bad things. And that's coming from me. Okay? Now, once you can check the affinity bit, things get easy. Okay? So, that's about all I've got to say on that. So, hope you've enjoyed this little micro series on the paranormal and ghosts and hauntings. I might update this when other things happen. I'm certain I'll run into something else eventually. We'll see. I don't know. But anyway. If you're new to the channel, hit that red subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, please and thank you. If you've got anything weird going on, please let me know. I'm happy to help you out, okay? If you agree with me that evil must be opposed, feel free to visit my website, vimandvigorelli.com. I've got a shirt there that you can get. I think it's like 15, 20 bucks, somewhere in there. And it says evil must be opposed on the front. Kind of cool. And I've also got a bunch of other stuff up there. If you're a fan of my books, or you just want some nerd swag, you know, something unique, got a bunch in there. Okay, feel free to check it out. It is fulfilled by Printful. Okay, and if you don't like Printful, I'm also on with Cafe Press and Redbubble. You can actually get to those through my other website, VigIntMed. Okay, and you can also drop me a line via either. Okay, so I'll see you later, guys, with something else. Take care. Bye-bye.